So, this is Magicka. This is an action adventure game that we've created, and our thing is that we have these 8 elements that you can conjure and combine however you want. And once you've conjured elements, you can cast them in several different ways. So, for instance, I have if I conjure fire, I can cast it like this kind of flamethrower effect, or if I press the left trigger instead of the right trigger, in this case, I produce this explosion kind of effect. Worth noting is that friendly fire is always on here, so if I accidentally hit my friends, they will be equally affected by my spells. Which means you will always have to think before you act, and you'll probably not always do that, so some situations, some hilarious situations can occur, and hopefully things will turn out well in the end. I have my sword as well, and this is like a last resort. Against these goblins it's quite effective, but against trolls and orcs it will be less effective or less efficient. So the 2 last ways of casting spells are on yourself, which might seem like a bad idea at this time, but if I'm on fire I can conjure water and put the fire out by casting it on myself. And lastly, we have casting on your sword, for storing spells in your sword for later use. So in a kind of a tight situation I can use this spell I've stored. So what you're looking at here is a part of the campaign, and the campaign goes from south to north, so you're always moving northward. And it's arcade style kind of campaign, so that you go from start to finish through different levels, and it's a branched campaign, so you can, if you do really well in one level, or if you find the secret path, you will earn your way into the hard path. So there will be something to come back for, even if you play through the entire campaign. One example of the dynamics of the system is that if I, for instance, cast cold on someone, I can just cast it on myself. It just slows me down. But if I prepare this by casting water on myself and then casting cold, I will freeze. Apart from this campaign, we also have a set of challenges. These challenges will provide some extra challenges for players who really want to, for the more hardcore experience, so to speak. Like survival modes to earn high scores and such. Also a player versus player mode with 4 maps. You can find these specific combinations of elements that produce very specific effects. For instance, now my friend's dead. I can use life, and lightning to revive him again. These effects include summoning demons, producing earthquakes and meteor showers and such. Not only will your opponents get tougher as you proceed through the campaign, the environments will change. So from the green lush forests in the south to the harsh snowy landscapes in the north. So there's the visual aspect of the game, and the environments are very much inspired by Norse mythology and just the Nordic climate. A lot of pines and spruces and a dead moose here and there. You'll meet a boss that could be like either a huge monster blocking your path or another spellcaster or something. We have something in store for each level. And on some levels, if you find the secret path, then you will meet a harder boss, for instance. Beating that boss will lead you into the harder path of the campaign. There are a variety of different enemies throughout the game. So in the earlier levels you will face off against goblins, and the more simple kind of spellcasters, the goblin shamans. Also you'll see some trolls. We faced off with a troll earlier. In later levels you'll face off against enemies that really challenges your spellcasting more, because they'll be faster and they will have more health. So you can't just play the offensive game. You have to be more defensive, putting up shields, boosting them, cooperating to boost your shields to keep them while the enemy try to bring them down. These bubble shields are very good at protecting you and your group if you stay together. We've got the first boss, or actually the second boss of the game, the giant snake. His only weakness is the head. So once you figure that out, you can put up these stone walls to make him hit his head. So this is an example of when you really have to stay, to keep your mobility. And the more elements you produce, the slower you'll move. So it's really best to keep running until he shows up, and then just conjure all the elements you need. When he gets low on health, he really gets this more aggressive, and he will move faster. So also this kind of classical retro element.
Here we get to the stats screen. Anything that you'd like to explain?
Yeah, this is the temporary kind of alpha stat screen so far, and we really want people to be able to see when the game is done, to see what they've done, and we'll also add more of these stats and give people like titles, so the aggressive one, or like the most damage, or most deaths, or things like that.
And overkills.
Yeah, overkills. That's when people, or like when enemies explode, when you do so much damage to them that they just disintegrate. Let me see, kills, stats, overkill, yeah, overkills. Healing done, healing received, damage done, damage received. Friendly fire doesn't really work as intended yet, but yeah, and friendly kills. It's an important part of the game, I think, so we want to list that as well.